There are many times when you want to manipulate or move an object in very specific amounts. So maybe you want to type in numbers. Well, we can do that using what's called the channel box. Now we can find the channel box here by just clicking on this, and we should have a tab here for the channel box. And if I select, say, for example, this car, you'll see that I have translate, rotate, scale, as well as visibility for this object. Now the channel box also has along the bottom a layer editor, which allows us to put the scene into layers as well. So let's go ahead and just select this car and just move it along Z. And you can see that as I move it, those numbers change. So if I wanted to move it a very specific number, say 5, I could do that. If I wanted to move it vertically in Y, say 10, I could do that as well. And I could zero it out as well. If I wanted to scale it, I could scale it an axis at a time, or if I left click and drag and highlight all of those, I can scale it by typing in one number that will fill in all the spaces that are highlighted. So if I type in 2 here, it will actually be put into each one of those. Now, another way to manipulate things is by selecting the channel and middle click and drag. Now, if I wanted to rotate this around Y, I could certainly grab the gizmo and manipulate it. But another way to do it is to keep this highlighted and middle click in the viewport, and then you can change it just by dragging. So middle click and drag will act almost like a slider. So if I wanted to translate that, I can middle click and drag. And so that's a really handy thing. And this works for any input box. And that's a very powerful feature. Now, if you want to zero things out, all you have to do, again, is just highlight these. So I'm going to highlight all my translations and rotations and just type in 0, and it will zero it all out. So as you can see, the channel box is a really nice way to control the positioning of your objects. You can type in very specific numbers, and you can also use each channel as a slider by middle clicking and dragging.